It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV for Monday, June 24th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. We're a few hours late today, and thank you for your patience, because I was speaking over the weekend at His Call Ministries in Sparta, Missouri, speaking on the subject of the gates of hell, which is the title of the forthcoming book that Sharon and I have co-authored. That'll be out in the fourth quarter of this year from Defender Publishing. So I didn't get home until late afternoon yesterday. That's normally when I'm preparing the Monday report, so had to work on that this morning. And so we're a few hours late. Again, thank you for your patience. Topic number 5 today, Israel. Turns out the United States is, in fact, slow-walking weapons shipments needed by Israel to fight the war against Hamas and presumably the upcoming war against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. This is according to a report by Channel 12 News in Israel over the weekend. They report that in the first part of the war, there were some 240 weapons shipments from the U.S. delivered to Israel. In recent months, though, that's declined by half, only 120. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying in a cabinet meeting over the weekend, Sunday that is, that there's been a dramatic decrease in the supply of munitions from the United States. According to Netanyahu, Israel has been appealing to the U.S. government for many weeks to speed up the shipments. I will say again, if you study 20th century history, you'll find that, in fact, the United States has done this often to Israel. We supplied nothing for the War of Independence in 1948. Did not help during the Suez Crisis of 1956, 1967. In fact, in 1973, the NSA withheld knowledge that Egypt was about to attack across the Suez Canal until the very last minute. So this is not a surprise, and the team in the White House, the team behind President Biden, who I don't believe for a minute is calling the shots anymore, they see Benjamin Netanyahu as a greater threat to peace in the Middle East than violent Islam, which says a lot about Joe Biden's constituency heading into the 2024 presidential election. Topic number 4, Yemen. As long as we're speaking about the Middle East, the Pentagon bringing home the USS Eisenhower, the aircraft carrier, has already had its tour in the Red Sea extended twice. But even with the carrier in the Red Sea for quite a long time, the attacks from Yemen on shipping through the Red Sea have only stepped up. Another nuclear-powered carrier, the Theodore Roosevelt, is now on the way to the Middle East from its current position in the Pacific. It was docked in South Korea. This will continue the U.S. presence in the region, but it just shows that the U.S. operations in the Red Sea to try to safeguard shipping has just not really been effective. Case in point, over the weekend, United Kingdom maritime trade operations reported 2 more incidents with merchant vessels on Sunday. The first one in the Red Sea, where a suicide drone hit a vessel. The second taking place in the Gulf of Aden, which is what feeds into the southern part of the Red Sea. That second vessel was damaged badly enough that the crew had to abandon ship. The crew rescued by an assisting ship. This basically blockade by the Houthis, who control Yemen, has a real impact on global trade. About 10% of global trade ships through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. It cuts the shipping time from the Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean from about 33 days going around the Cape of Good Hope down to 10 days. The cost is considerably less. So by forcing shipping to go around the southern tip of Africa, a longer and more dangerous journey, the cost on shipping, the cost of goods shipped, will be really impacted. And again, despite the fact that we had a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier in the region, the Houthis, the Yemenis, continue their attacks and continue them to this day. Topic number 3, President Biden. We are told by CBS News to expect surprises from President Biden at this Thursday's presidential debate. It's been a long time since I looked forward to a debate, but this Thursday night should be interesting viewing on CNN. Biden has been at Camp David with his closest and most trusted political advisor since this past Thursday, spending an entire week to prepare for a debate. President Trump, former President Trump, not so much, although he says he doesn't want to underestimate President Biden. But CBS News senior correspondent Weijia Zhang saying that this robust preparation should include surprises, including the president's physical performance. Like what? Is he going to drop and do one-armed push-ups like Jack Palance at the Oscars years ago? Or are they just going to have him fortified, shall we say, with something that, like at the State of the Union address, where he seemed like he was really angry and shouting the whole time. I don't know what to expect. And I don't want to make light of it because, again, I've got a family member who's going through dementia. It is not fun to watch. What they're putting the president through is elder abuse, and it's because the Democrats are desperate. They don't want Kamala Harris in the White House. They don't have anyone else lined up. Gavin Newsom probably standing in the corner raising his hand, but again, if they bypass the vice president, there's likely to be a rebellion inside the party. Anyway, this debate, which is being hosted by CNN, moderated by CNN, will feature new rules that have not been seen at past presidential debates. No live audience. Each candidate's microphone will be muted and unmuted, so they will not be able to interject while the other candidate is speaking, and there will be commercial breaks. This will probably benefit President Biden. However, neither candidate will be allowed to use pre-written notes. That benefits Trump. And oddly, even though the Biden camp won the pre-debate coin toss, it's just showing that this is, again, like a sporting event. This is how the media is portraying it. The Biden campaign opted to give Trump the last word during the debate, instead choosing which side of the platform they wanted their candidate to stand on. President Biden will be standing on the right side of the TV screen, Trump on the left. Why they thought that was more important than taking the last word, I don't know. But it should be entertaining if nothing else. Topic number 2, rural broadband. Rural broadband. We live out here in rural America, the Ozarks, and it took years before we got anything better than 4 megabit per second service. I mean, you living in the cities with gigabit service, we envy you. Not enough to put up with living in the city, but we finally got 40 megabit service. They ran fiber optic cable through our front yard, but they won't connect it to the house. Anyway, 3 years ago, President Biden pushed through a plan to allocate $42.5 billion to connect rural America to broadband. $42.5 billion. 3 years later, not a single home has been connected to broadband. Why? Because of rules. According to the Washington Times, climate change mandates, preferences for hiring union workers, and the requirement that eligible companies prioritize the employment of justice-impacted people with criminal records to install broadband equipment. End quote. Justice-impacted. So the government wants to connect people to the internet, but they can't because they're requiring companies to hire felons from unions who have to follow nonsensical environmental policies. 3 years, $42.5 billion, 0 homes connected to broadband. This is making those billion-dollar electric vehicle charging stations sound like a real bargain. Coming up, California dreamin'. Bless their pointy little heads.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a quick break to tell you how you can get your copy of both of these incredible new works in the Out of This World and Gate of the Gods special offer. When you order this incredible offer from the skywatchtvstore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Out of This World, Are UFOs Aliens, Spirits, or Pure Hokum by Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, that exposes the faults in both the science and theology regarding the existence of UFOs. The very real possibility that UFOs are manned by extraterrestrial beings much smarter and far more spiritual than humans that are preparing to deceive mankind as we approach the biblical end times. The recent surge of UFO activity all around the globe, and why Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis is calling for Project UFO, a national strategy to determine if we face an existential threat, and so much more. But that's not all. You'll also receive Gate of the Gods, Revelation, the Messiah, and the Second Coming of Babylon by Tyler Gilreath, that brings to life the war between Jesus Christ and the power of darkness as illuminated in the book of Revelation. A cosmic end-time struggle between the Hebrew king of promise and the Old Testament gods of Babylon. The hidden Babylonian framework in the book of Revelation that can only be seen through ancient Near Eastern eyes. Unmasking Babylon the Great and more. Also included in this must-have special offer for a very limited time, Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis's best-selling book, Give Me Liberty, Not Marxism, and his book, Kings of the East, China's Plan to Eliminate America and Impose a Communist World Order. All of these items hold a retail value of $84. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Out of This World and Gate of the Gods special offer right now.
Item number 1 today, the train wreck that is California. The California Air Resources Board has passed a new rule that requires freight railroads to adopt zero-emission trains by 2030 for industrial use and 2035 for freight hauling. Zero-emission train, that basically means electric locomotives. Now, there's just one problem. I mean, besides the fact that the state still hasn't completed its high-speed electric rail system for passenger use, voted on back in 2008? Supposed to be completed, up and running by 2020 to connect San Francisco to Los Angeles. It's still not up and running, and the cost has ballooned from $33 billion to $128 billion. Anyway, setting that aside, the new rule mandates zero-emission freight trains beginning a little more than 5 years from now, or at least industrial use trains, freight trains by 2035. But they're demanding that they employ electric locomotives that do not exist in this time-space continuum. Oh, maybe somewhere in an alternate universe we've invented electric locomotives that can pull the thousands of tons of freight that they need to haul. But again, alternate universes are about as real as those zero-emission locomotives. Anyway, if the railroads don't comply, they will be fined to the tune of $800 million per year per railroad. Larger railroads may be able to pass along the costs to us, the consumers. Smaller railroads probably just fold, which means more freight would be going onto flatbed tractor trailers, meaning more carbon in the atmosphere. Now, we can sit back and point and laugh at California. The problem is that many of the goods that we use in the rest of the country are shipped into the country at the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles. And to get across California, yeah, let's hope the federal EPA steps in and says, no, let's confine ourselves to reality. And I'm not holding out a lot of hope because the EPA is about as anti-American as it gets. Anyway, pray that cooler heads, saner heads prevail. This week on Skywatch TV, we continue our 4-part series on the new books by Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis and Tyler Gilreath, Out of This World and Gate of the Gods. Gate of the Gods, that's what Bob L means. Babel. How does that play a role in the end times? And is it related to the UFO phenomenon? Fascinating discussion, out-of-the-box thinking, but based on the Bible. Don't miss these programs. You'll find them all right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always there. So if you're watching on YouTube, by the way, and the main program is now available at YouTube again, and we suddenly disappear, which has happened 4 times now, please go to our website, skywatchtv.com. You can also watch it right now at Roku or Apple TV. The over-the-air broadcast, if you watch on one of our partner Christian networks, the schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels, but better yet, get our mobile app. Our mobile app brings all of the content right into your smartphone or tablet and bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech. That way, we're never cut off, even if we get kicked off one of those other sites again. The mobile app available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. We have links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. You can follow 5 in 10 on social media, X at 5_in_10, on YouTube at 5 in 10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.
Hi friends, Pastor Mike Spaulding here to announce the Go Therefore 2024 conference. We will gather Friday and Saturday, July the 26th and 27th at Harvest Revival Center in Brookville, Ohio. This year we welcome the following scholars, Bible teachers, and researchers: Derek and Sharon Gilbert, Joe Horn, L.A. Marzulli, Dr. Judd Burton, Pastor Paul Begley, Pastor Carl Gallups, Dr. Greg Reed, and Tom Dunn. Live stream is available. Ministry tables are available for like-minded ministries. Hotel and other information is on the conference website, www.gothereforeconference.com. Gothereforeconference.com. Looking forward to seeing you.